Hey everyone, welcome back to Rising with RK, Path of Mastery. Today we are diving into world of HTML tags and elements, the building block of every website. Okay, ever wondered how what makes a website works from heading to paragraph and links to lists? I will break it all down in a super simple way so you can start coding like a pro. So buckle up and hit like button and let's jump. So for that we are just going to open Visual Studio Code and I will show how the HTML tags work. Okay. As previously I explained some tag and today also we will get just quick recap on those points. Okay. So just going to the HTML folder and opening Visual Studio Code. Yeah, as previously I said, we can open Visual Studio Code with the help of terminal using code dot. Okay, so for today also I am creating a new file and I am naming file like just considering we are recording video on 5th Feb, so I am just naming it. So guys, I just created a one file and we are go through the one by one syntax. So so already I explained what is a doc type and what is doc type mention. Okay, so doc type mention the document which is a content HTML data. So after that another tag is a HTML. So HTML is a root tag of everything. So you are writing any syntax or any element within the HTML tag only. So as yesterday we are explained, we have two tags like head, body, and inside the body we are writing the data those we want to show on a browser. So basically head is a containing the metadata of this document. So in the head, inside the head we can add a title. So just we are adding a title like Rising with RK. Okay, yeah, Rising with RK. Okay, I can show you on the URL, right? Sorry, on the browser. Okay, just click on the right click on the open with the Chrome only. So you can see here this is the title of this page in the Chrome tab. You can see Rising with the RK, and I'm just changing it to the anything. I'm just removing the RK and I'm just saving. You can see here the RK is removed. So the title tag is used to show the name or show the title in a Chrome tab. So I'm just adding back RK, and after we are going to in the body now, you can see as yesterday I am explained there is a header tag, and in header there are six type of header like H1 as already said, H2, H3, H4, H5, and S6. Every header tag have their separate size and height. Okay, so as yesterday I already explained those things, you have to practice on those. So you can see here in a H1 we are just adding a Rising with RK, and so you can clearly see the difference between the tags. Okay, yeah, so after adding you can you are able to see the difference between the each header tag. So h1 is a larger tag and h2 is smaller than h1, h3 is smaller than h2. So there is another tag which we explained yesterday is a p tag. You can add your code or whatever you want to in this paragraph. It has same length, same size of the content. Okay, so you can see here I'm just adding random text. Okay, to show the, you can see here we are adding multiple lines also here. Okay, I'm adding this one code in multiple line to show you how really it's work. Okay, so you can add multiple line code in this. So one point we also discussed yesterday is a link. So okay, we are just creating a link with the a tag, right? So I am just creating here a login page. So because of we today will discuss the forms in HTML. Okay, so there are multiple tags in HTML. So okay, so for the link I am just href and we are just creating one page. It's called login.html. So redirect to this page. I am just creating one login page here, so you can see how we redirect to the another page. Okay, I am just adding some content here to show you. Okay, in a title you can see clearly, right? In a login page, right? So in a body we are adding a h1. So sorry, yeah, we are adding a h1 and we are writing a login form. Okay, so you can see on the browser, okay, we have created one login page link. When we click on this link, you will redirect to the login page. Yeah, you can see here where we just click on the link and we redirected to the login page. We are creating a form here. So form is used to collect the user input and send it to the server for processing the data. Form are essential to create a login form, contact form, and search bar. Okay, so we are creating a one form and let's see how how it will look like. Okay, so the form is created with the form tag. Okay, I am adding few methods, we will explain those after this. Like we are adding an action, so for that action I am adding login.php. Okay, we don't have that file right now, but I will explain how actually it works. Okay, and after that we will use those method, use those files. Okay, inside the form we are just declaring the labels are used to describe the content or for that input field. Okay, just I am just here writing a name. Okay, so I am just here writing a name, right? Okay, we are just here for, we are getting a name, right? So after that label we are taking a one input field, so which this input field help us to get a data from user, and with the base of this we can send data to the server, right? We are adding a name for this one. ID is basically adding to get a value from particular that input field, and if we want to add some css or style to that input field, so I am just adding a name also, right? So I am just saving let's see to the login form. You can see here we have name as a label and we have a input field to get a data from a user. So user can directly write data here. Okay, so we are just creating another field like a label, right? So we are in the label, we will create as a password. Okay, sorry, I have to close this one. Yeah, right, I'm just adding a password. So for this we are saying it is password, and in the input, okay, sorry, in the input you can see I'm just adding a type. Okay, so based on this type you can add multiple fields. Like we want to password. Okay, when you are select the password data type, what it will happen, let's see, right? Just give me the name id. Okay, and id is a password only. So just go to the browser, save it and go to the browser to show what is happening, right? So you can see here the name and the password field are in the same row, but if we don't want to be in the same row, we can break the line using the bear tag, right? So you can see here we just break the line using a bear tag. So we have having some name, like we are adding a name as a rk, and in the password I'm just adding a password. So you can see here no one are able to see the password. That is the that is the type of that particular field. So if we are adding an email here, okay, let's see, we will add a email here, right? So I'm just adding an email, right? For Okay, for email, right? Give me a moment guys, I'm just adding. Okay, input. Okay, and in the input I'm just adding a type. Okay, so in the input I'm just adding a type as a email. Okay, so you can see here name is equal to email also. Okay, if we have multiple fields and after filling all the fields we want to submit those fields and get the data from those fields and send to the server. Okay, so therefore we need another method, it's called submit. So first I am showing the email field. So you can see here password which is entered by user also not able to see the password. Okay, so after that we have another, we have added another field is a email. So after that we want to submit submit those record to the server. So therefore for that I'm using a one button and I'm putting the type of this button is a submit. So you can see here I'm just adding the button for the submit, right? Okay, just give me a moment, I'm just adding button and adding name to the button, right? Okay, you can see here there is a submit button. If you are adding some data here, yeah, and we want to submit. Okay, you can see here we are sending to the data to the html.login.php, but we don't have that file, so it's showing some error, right? Okay, so go to the next. Okay, Now I just want to the confirm, I just want to the add one drop down field here. You have seen in multiple login pages there is a one field called gender. So in that gender we have some options, right? So so in that they have some predefined option, user can select only those. So let's go guys and create a one field. Okay, so just I'm adding a label, yeah, and for gender, right? So I'm just adding here gender, and after that I'm just adding select, right, and name as previously we written. Okay, so it is a input field for us. Yeah, okay, inside the select we have multiple options like, okay, so we have option to showing that option. I'm just adding a mail here, yeah. So I'm just copying that option, you can see here. Okay, so I'm just adding a female, and instead of this male I'm just going to, yeah, no options available. So you can see in the login form. Okay, you can see here a drop down field, right, to with the option of male, female, and no option available. So have to user have to select between these. User don't have any other option to select. So in that way we can restrict the user to input a specific values, right? So after that we have another field which is used in forms. Okay, so there is a another label I am creating for this one. Okay, so this is a text area, right? Okay, this is another field we are writing. So I'm just getting a description. Okay, I'm just adding a description and adding an input field. Okay, so here I'm just adding value. I'm sorry, I'm just adding a name as a text area, and id is equal to text area. So you can see here it is, if we when we are adding a text area, it is same as a input field, and that there is a submit button. So when user will fill the data and hit the submit button, the post method which is written in a form tag will copy the data and pass to the login.php page. So there are two type of method when we are hitting the submit button, right? First one is a get method, another one is a post method. So in the get method, the data which is stored by user are visible in a URL, and in a in a post method, the data which is entered by user are carry in a body part, so it is not visible in a URL. So most of the secure data site use post methods to pass data from HTML page to HTML page to any server page, or most of the developers using post method to pass data from page to server. So that is the for today, guys. The remaining part we will discuss in tomorrow. Keep going, keep practicing,